You're listening to the Things About Nature podcast. Coming to you from a city that never sleeps is me, your host, Rockshana. I invite you to join me in truly honest, passionate, and fun talks that motivate, invigorate, and maybe inspire. Even though we're no longer in the mile high, the sky is still the limit. Everything and anything goes. So let's start talking about things of that nature. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Things That Nature podcast. I'm your host, Rockshana, and as we end this season, I have a guest who, yes, of course, is an author. I get that's the trend we were going with, randomly happened, but he's an author and he's a little bit more. So this one should be fun. Today I have Matt Boer with us. Hi, Matt. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for coming on.
Sure.
Now you're in one of the Carolinas, right?
I am. Yeah, we are located in North Carolina. We're in Charlotte.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've never been to Charlotte. Am I missing anything?
Just a lot of humidity right now, but no, it's a beautiful area. I grew up in Minnesota, but found a little place that doesn't snow all the time, and so yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's beautiful. We've got the ocean about 3 hours away and the mountains a couple hours away, so plenty to do and see. So yeah, it's a great place.
Ooh, okay, all right, I'll take it. Was it your choice to move there, like to get away from the snow?
You know, it was. I had the opportunity through work, and so I was able to kind of take the leap and get down here, and actually it's how I met my wife. So it's how the whole story started, I guess you could say. So yeah, it's
Aww. Yeah. For all the sappy ones, and everyone's like, ooh, what's that story? Aww.
Yeah, we met down here, and then we traveled all around the place, and then had a couple kids, and then ended up out in California. Before we knew it, with the kids and their acting careers, and so just it's been quite an adventure, but it's been a fun ride for sure.
All right, sounds cool. Now, I don't even know how or why it happened. It just kind of like this ironic thing, I call it, that this entire season I have spoken to several different authors, and you are another author. However, when I said you did more, you did acting as well.
I did. Yeah. We the kids were the ones that really got everything started. I'm from the acting side of things, and were the reason we moved out to California prior to the pandemic hitting. But when we moved out there, we were out there for 3 months, and so I figured, what the heck? I threw a headshot out there to see what would happen, and was lucky enough to land a couple different things and a couple commercials and some other things. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Wasn't exactly what I thought what I wanted to do with my life or anything like that, but it was a heck of an experience. So glad I did it.
All right. Why is it a past tense?
Well, because we're back in North Carolina now, so we're not in California any longer, and I realize I'm better behind the camera, so to speak, than in front of it. I don't have the memorizing skills and so forth that our kids do, so it's not really my thing, but I enjoy more writing books and things along those lines than the acting piece. I'll leave that to the kids, but yeah, they've been fun to watch.
All right. And how did the writing come in play? Were you always a writer?
Not really. I did kind of on my own, just certain things here and there, but it wasn't anything that I set out to do or set out to write a book. Actually, it was something that when this opportunity presented itself, I knew we were going to be out in California for about 3 months. And so I figured I would journal it and journal the experiences that we had, because they were so unique and interesting, and I thought then I would have a nice collection of little stories that I could give the kids, for them to hold on to so they could remember down the road. And one thing just kind of led to another. The stories got even crazier, and we started putting them out into a blog that started to get a following. And then before you knew it, when I was done, I had about 100,000 words, and we converted it into a book, and it's been doing pretty well.
That's pretty neat. It's one of those
Yeah.
things where you just do it, have fun, and then it launches out to something even bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, and I think that was the nice part about it, because I wasn't under the crunch of having to do something, or I wasn't working under any deadline or writing for anyone in particular. It was just really a free flow of being able to be creative and put whatever happened during the day into a kind of, you know, put my spin on that, so to speak, and try to make it funny and humorous, and it's gives people something to look forward to reading, and was able to do that. And so yeah, it was a great experience, and it's opened my eyes to just how hard this uh, writing profession is. It's not a simple task, but it's highly rewarding and very enjoyable.
Huh. What'd you do before then?
Well, I was in sales for the most part. I was just in the produce arena, so not exactly your typical path to becoming an author, but I was in sales in the grocery food industry for many years, and worked for a few different companies. And then my wife actually has a very successful career. So for a few years, I was a stay-at-home dad. Um, and did that while supporting her. And then when we moved out to California, I was actually able to work again in produce and kind of get back into the swing of things there. And so that's what I do during the day, is sales and so forth in the food industry.
Oh, wow. Not a path of, I guess I'm going to air quote it. You can't see me, but I'm air quoting, not the same path of like your typical path of an actor or
Right.
an author.
Yeah. It's my resume is a mess. It's pretty confusing, but no, and I think maybe that's part of the creative mindset, is that I get bored easily and I want something else, and try to just try to find as many experiences as possible, and uh, that because I really saw that in Hollywood. When we moved out to California, it was just such a unique experience, and so many different diverse people out there. But at the end of the day, everybody was kind of chasing their dream, and it was really a neat environment to be a part of, where creativity was really encouraged. So it's yeah, it wasn't your typical path, but I'm glad I got there somehow, some way.
Oh. Do you miss getting on a set and having to try and remember lines or anything like that?
No, because I get to still live vicariously through our kids.
Okay.
My son, or excuse me, our son, um, he actually has a movie coming out on Thanksgiving called 8-Bit Christmas, with Neil Patrick Harris and Steve Zahn. Um, and so we were in Toronto for 3 months filming that during the quarantine, and was able to stay up there with him during that time. And that was a great experience, from just seeing how all of this is developed and how this all comes together, and all the moving parts and pieces that they have to handle. Then you throw a pandemic into the mix. I mean, it was quite a show.
Oh, wow. Enough material for a second book, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, the first one's called Until Tomorrow, Little People. And Little People come into play because I was the first paid actor of the family. And so then once I made that $75, everybody else was beneath me. So that was kind of my self-inflated spin on the book. But yeah, the one in Canada would be great, because it was, it was all the behind the scenes stuff from the movie, and the funny things that happened there. And then trying to juggle uh, a pandemic and a lockdown, because we were locked down the entire time we were there, getting tested 2 to 3 times a week. So yeah, it was it was an experience.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Wow. And not being like home.
Right. Yeah. I mean, normally we would fly back and forth, but because we were in another country, when we arrived, we had to quarantine for 14 days, and that was the kind of the set rule. And so if we were to go back and see family, we would have to fly back and then quarantine for another 14 days, and that just doesn't work with production.
Mhm.
And so instead of doing the normal back and forth, we were up there for 3 months living in an apartment. So it was a unique experience, but you know what? It was a lot of fun because my son and I got to spend some great quality time together, and the experience was fantastic.
That's awesome. Spoken like a true supportive dad.
Yeah, it's I've been through worse when we've had to do the weekend long basketball tournaments and things like that. Those can be brutal. So 3 months in an apartment in Toronto wasn't too bad.
Right. You pick your food. It's not totally all junk food.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. No, so it was all good, but yeah, it was fun, and we're really looking forward to seeing that come out on film here in November. So
That's cool. That's exciting.
yeah.
Is it his first film or second?
No, he's done a lot of different work. He's done a couple student films. He's done some short films. He's been on Blackish, Shameless, SWAT, Pen 15, and a couple other TV shows. He was actually just nominated for a Young Artist Academy Award for his role on Blackish. So that's exciting. And then, yeah, this is the biggest production he's been a part of in terms of his role, his part, the movie, and all that. So, hopefully more things will come from it, and but if not, it's been an incredible thing to witness and to watch as your kids kind of blossom and grow and discover what they love and where their passion lies. So that's really cool.
That's cool. Congrats. That's super
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah.
Now, with you writing your book, I know you said it was more of like off of journaling at first,
Mhm.
but you were putting it all together into an actual book to put in stores. What was
Mhm.
that process like for you?
Well, you know what? I had 3 months on my hands when I was up in Toronto with nothing to do. So I just kind of had the perfect time to go through the whole editing process. And, that was really when the work began. Writing the book was, I shouldn't say easy because it's not an easy task, but that was the fun part. But then having to reread it and reread it and reread it and go, oh boy, what was I thinking here? What am I doing here? All this and picking it apart and editing it, that was a long drawn out process. But I was able to find the right publisher for me and the right editor in Glass Spider Publishing, who we just got along really well and had a very similar mindset to the humor and to the message and to the story. And so they brought along a lot of great ideas, and so the collaboration to get it to where it is now was really a great learning experience for me, because I didn't, being the first book, I didn't realize how much went into it. But, I think just like with the kids in their acting career, having the right team in place, makes a world of difference.
Right. You think you just, you have some thoughts and you put it together and it makes sense. And then you just put it in a store and it's a book.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. But I will say though, it's when you sell that first one, that is pretty cool feeling. And then I was actually up in a small coffee shop in northern Minnesota and ran into a lady who had my book, and I thought that was really, really, really cool.
I bet. Yeah,
to
that
see
moment.
somebody actually have it.
Yeah.
But it's all nerves as well, because you're like, oh boy, what if they don't like it? What do I even ask? Should I ask? But then curiosity.
You just wait till they throw the book at you.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, but it's all good. But yeah, that's the process of